Hey kids, Chef Jack here. I wanted to take a couple minutes to talk to you about the Black Racer Shiloh Norman special. This is, of course, one of the tribute issues DC released for Jack Kirby month. I know we're a couple of days past Jack Kirby month, but this one was pretty good, and it only released recently, so I wanted to tell you guys about it. The Black Racer first appeared in a couple of issues of the New Gods as a sort of dark reflection on Kirby's much better known creation, the Silver Surfer. He was, in effect, the incarnation of death for the heroes and villains of New Genesis and Apocalypse. Shiloh Norman, on the other hand, was Robin to Mr. Miracle's Batman. He appeared for the first time near the end of the 1970s Mr. Miracle run. He was a teenager who had witnessed a gangland murder and who was taken under the wing of Mr. Miracle for protection from reprisals. And along the way he began training to become a performing escape artist himself, just like scot-free. What set the Black Racer and Shiloh Norman apart at the time they were created was, of course, that they were black characters. This was the 70s, and black characters were only just then becoming a bit of a thing. Prior to that point, you occasionally would see them. I mean, the Falcon, of course, was created in 1967, but by the mid-70s, there still wasn't all that many black characters, and Kirby, of course, had created most of them. In addition to their skin color, the Black Racer and Shiloh Norman had something else in common. In the universe of the New Gods, they were both mortal human beings from Earth. Now, yeah, technically the Black Racer was a cosmic entity, of course, but he had merged with a paralyzed Vietnam War veteran named Willie Walker, who'd been shot through the spine while trying to defend his neighborhood from drug pushers. These commonalities, the fact that they are both black and that they're both human beings who take part in this huge saga of the New Gods, are the things upon which Reginald Hudlin has based this particular story. Shiloh Norman, for example, spends most of the story as the new Mr. Miracle, which, according to DC canon, he took over for scot-free during Free's short-lived retirement in the 80s and 90s. In this story, he's performing an escape that has been intentionally sabotaged to ensure his death. The Black Racer, on the other hand, shows up to confirm, quote-unquote, that this death is going to happen, and then to escort Shiloh to his eternal reward once it occurs. But of course, in the end, Norman doesn't plan on dying, and the Black Racer doesn't seem all that willing to take a soul unjustly, which means that both end up fighting against their own destinies. On the whole, I have to say, this story works pretty well as an introduction for anybody who isn't already familiar with these characters. In addition, it's a strong, well-written adventure tale just on its own. It's got enough cosmic weirdness and pseudo-mystical mumbo-jumbo to make it feel like a real Kirby story without it suffering the problems that cosmic mumbo-jumbo stories have. And there's also some moments of real humor here, although for the most part this is a deadly serious story. If there's anything dragging it down, though, it's the fact that Reginald Hudlin cannot seem to write a story that features black people interacting with white people, in which at least one of the white people isn't in some way a huge racist douchebag. This book is no exception. That said, this racial element is never a gigantic part of the story. But it's just enough noticeable. It's just noticeable to seem a little intrusive. Specifically, the escape that Mr. Miracle must perform is sabotaged on the orders of one Travis Donald, quote-unquote, a dead ringer for Donald Trump. He's described as a hotel and casino billionaire, and he not only sets Shiloh Norman up to be killed, but he gets away with it because a black flunky takes the fall for it. And I mean, clearly, the message here is the wealthy white man is exploiting and toying with the life of the struggling black man for his own amusement and profit. It's very subtly presented. This message is very subtle, and it might actually fly by some readers without noticing, but it's there if you look for it. Luckily, even with that jab at the current presidential administration, the rest of the book is still entertaining. It doesn't actually kill the book. especially given the cameos by other Kirby creations like, Commandy and Omac and Brother Eye. And of course, in addition to the primary story, there are reprinted stories taken from the Young Gods of Supertown series, which ran as a secondary story in each issue of the New Gods. 2 of these stories feature Fastback, and the 3rd features Viken of the Forever People. But what did you guys think? Have you read the Black Racer special? And if so, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like part of it? Did you hate part of it? Let me know in the comments below. As usual, if you liked what you saw, go ahead and click the like button. Share it so that your friends can come and like it if they want to. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you do, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. If you really like what we're doing here and you want to help us keep the lights on and the wheels moving, we have a Patreon and a VidMe page linked down below. Feel free to hop over there, drop a couple of dollars in the bucket. We would always appreciate it. Even if you don't, however, thank you very much for your time and attention. I appreciate it. I know Englentine appreciates it. We enjoy doing these videos for you. We enjoy doing these videos for us, to be honest. Anyway, I just want to say thank you very, very much for watching.